Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another rock solid eShop deals video. For this one, we're gonna go ahead and smush together the cheapest deals and the more expensive ones. So we're gonna go and start with the expensive and work our way down to the cheapest deals. So get comfortable and let's take a look at all these great eShop games. First of all, we have Oddworld Soulstorm. It is 30% off, bringing it down to its lowest price so far. That is $34.99. This is a very well-reviewed Switch port of Soulstorm. If you're not familiar with the Oddworld games, they are very sort of cinematic adventure platformers. This one is a reboot of Abe's Exodus, one of the classic ones. Seems like it's been pretty well received. Switch port obviously isn't going to be quite up to snuff with the more next-gen stuff, but still seems like it performed pretty darn well. These cinematic platformers aren't really my cup of tea, but I know there is an audience for them, and I'm sure they would be excited about this deal. Next, we have Oceanhorn 2, Knights of the Lost Realm. This is matching its previous low, so 2 times in a row it has gone down to $17.99. If you are looking to get a little bit more of a fix of a 3D Zelda-style game, this is a great option. I just picked this up on the last sale, and I did just get to play a little bit of it, and I was very pleased with what I tried out. This is very much more like classic 3D Zelda with dungeons and a large overworld. I think you are really going to dig this one. I don't know if I would go in expecting the quality of the top tier, Nintendo produced Zelda series, but I think as long as you curb your expectations a little bit, you'll really enjoy it. Moving on, we have Trifox. Trifox is matching its previous low for only $13.99. I love Trifox. It was really a very shocking hidden gem to me. This is a sort of twin stick shooter adventure, so kind of think maybe like Crash Bandicoot mixed with a twin stick shooter. So some really fun platforming and a really insane level of customizability. Your character has different character classes you can choose from, but really you can intermix almost all of the abilities with all kinds of crazy combinations. My go-to personally was the engineer because I love any kind of game that lets me set down turrets or traps and mines. That's the type of gameplay that really scratches my itch. The Company Man is currently $12.99. That is 35% off, making it its lowest price ever. I haven't gotten to check this one out yet. It is an action platformer where you are playing as the Company Man. You are taking on your co-workers, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in your place of business. It's got some pretty solid reviews on Metacritic. So if you're looking for another quirky action platformer, I think the Company Man could fit that bill. Speaking of 3D Zelda-style games, Immortals Phoenix Rising is at its cheapest price ever for the digital version. 80% off, bringing it down to $11.99. I will say, usually when Ubisoft starts really lowering their prices, they kind of lock in a price and they never seem to move it. But like I said, we're getting down to now its new cheapest price. And this is a really great Zelda clone. It's very much a clone of Breath of the Wild, big, large open world, but just think Zelda Breath of the Wild mixed with ancient Greece mythology. It runs really well on the Switch. This one, I think, is a must for any fan of Breath of the Wild. Lost in Play is matching its previous low, 40% off for only $11.99. I'm not super into point-and-click adventure games, but this one really caught my eye. Has an 82 on Metacritic. It's extremely well reviewed. It really looks like a Cartoon Network or Disney Network cartoon come to life. It's absolutely gorgeous. This one doesn't require any reading from my understanding. It's all kind of, the language is all sort of like gibberish language, so there's really no language barrier or anything. It's just super charming and very beautiful to look at. Orbital Bullet is another game I got to look at recently on my channel, and again, it's another real hidden gem. It's currently at its lowest price ever, 40% off. That brings it down to $11.99. This is a really unique action roguelike platformer. The big twist here is that you are on a cylinder and you're moving around the cylinder so you can kind of see all the action that's going on the other side. Gives it just a little bit of an extra bit of flavor that you don't get from other roguelikes. I thought it controlled really well, has some really cool upgrades, really cool guns. I know there's a lot of roguelikes, but I thought that this is one that kind of stood above a lot of the others. Alpaca Ball AllStars is at its lowest price ever, 60% off to $7.99, by far its lowest price ever. I've never played this. In fact, this is a total wildcard choice, but the reviews for it were pretty darn solid for both the Steam and the Switch version. It's basically a party game where you play soccer as alpacas. It looked really silly. The gameplay I watched honestly looked like a lot of fun, and most importantly, this allows up to 8-player couch online multiplayer, which is really awesome. There's not a lot of Switch games that do that, and it sounds like this one does that very well. So if that price is intriguing, you might enjoy this for your upcoming Switch party. Next, we have a Juggler's Tale, which is $7.19. I keep wanting to say $7.99. This is like the fourth take of it. We're going to stick with it. That is 60% off. It is its lowest price ever. This is very much like a sort of Limbo or Inside sort of kind of slightly creepy action platformer. You play as a marionette and you are escaping the circus, and you go on all kinds of somewhat dark and sinister adventures. I personally really enjoyed it, and I think if you like things like Limbo or Inside, you probably would enjoy it too. All right, we are making it into the under $5 section. This is what you're here for, the really cheap deals. First of all, we have Valfaris and Slain double pack. This is matching its previous low for 90% off for $3.99. It's hit this price one other time. I wanted to really highlight this one because for some reason, every time this double pack goes on sale, the single version of Valfaris also goes on sale. And Valfaris by itself is $6.24. So it's literally cheaper to buy the double pack. I don't know why they do it that way. I have heard that Slain Back from Hell got some real mixed reviews. So, I mean, I don't know if you're going to really enjoy that, but it comes free with Valfaris, which is extremely well reviewed, a sort of heavy metal influenced Metroidvania style game. It's not really my cup of tea, the art style, but I know there are people that love that kind of stuff. One of my favorite things about these eShop sales is really I get to discover games that I hadn't heard about, and this one looks really solid. Collapsed. It is 80% off, $3, by far its lowest price ever. Now this is an action roguelike platformer, very much like Dead Cells but mixed with more ranged combat. Now, I realize by describing it like Dead Cells, that probably gives you a little bit too high of an expectation. The game does have some slightly mixed reviews, but there is definitely an audience of people both on Steam and on the Switch reviews that seem like they really dug this one. So if you want another Dead Cells-like game, don't mind that it's a little rough around the edges and you like the idea of that more ranged combat, I think you might really enjoy Collapse, and $3 is definitely cheap enough to just jump in and try it. Next, we have Bleed, the complete bundle. It is 90% off for a measly $2.79. Its lowest price ever. The Bleed games are fantastic run and gun games with some really cool slow-mo effects. I don't need to go into them a lot. They're very pure run and gun experiences. I think you would absolutely dig these if you like any sort of game like Contra or Metal Slug. And again, this is by far its cheapest price ever. That's a lot of game for only $2.79. Dungeons of Dreadrock is at its lowest price ever, 75% off, only $2.50. This sits currently at an 80 on Metacritic. This is a dungeon crawler puzzle style game. I haven't gotten to check it out, but the Steam reviews are extremely positive for it, so I thought I should definitely mention it. It seems like there are a good number of people that are excited about this deal. Let me know down in the comments below if you've tried out this game. I'm actually really curious to hear some user reviews from you guys. Super Bit Blaster XL. This one is a very rare deal. The last time this one went on sale was June 19th, 2021. Right now it's 50% off for $1.99. That's the same price it went on all the way back in June. This one is a Asteroids style sort of arcade throwback. The Steam reviews are overwhelmingly positive. This comes to us from Nickervision Studios. He's done a few of these sort of retro style throwbacks. His other games are actually already 99 cents on the eShop, so that's why you never really see them come up on sale videos. But Ding Dong XL, which is another one of his games, is really well received by the community, and this one too, it seems to be very much appreciated by the retro gaming enthusiasts. In one of my last eShop deal videos, I talked about the House of the Dead remake, and someone in the comments was talking about how they really didn't like the gyro controls in it, said it didn't really control really well. So I thought I would go ahead and mention Sniper Hunter Scope. It's $1.99 right now, matching its previous low. I don't bring this one up very much because this is one of those games that just goes on sale over and over and over again, so there's really no rush to pick this one up. But if you want an arcade-style throwback with really rock-solid gyro controls, I heartily recommend this one. The game is basically split up into two modes. You've got the one which is a sniper mode, kind of plays like the old Silent Scope arcade games, and then the other one is an over-the-shoulder mode where you're sort of the camera's going after your guy. It plays pretty much exactly like the Time Crisis games. But again, in both modes, you get really rock-solid gyro controls, and the headshots are just exquisite. Oniken Unstoppable Edition and Odalis the Dark Call bundle, one of the longest titles probably on the eShop. It is 90% off, by far its lowest price ever, $1.99. These are both very well received retro style throwbacks. The main reason though that I am mentioning this one is that Vengeful Guardian Moonrider just came out to absolutely rave reviews, and this is that studio's previous work. These games also seem to be pretty well received, so if you really are enjoying Vengeful Guardian, you want to go back and see what else they've done, now could not be a better time. Pipe Push Paradise is $1.99 for 82% off. This one went a long time with no deals and just recently has had 2 eShop sales, so I thought I would go ahead and mention it because I think this really is the definition of a hidden gem. It is very much what you see is what you get. It's a pipe pushing game where you are pushing pipes into these little puzzle grids to complete connections. I'm not going to be able to make it sound more exciting than that, but the puzzles are really fun. There's a lot of good head scratcher kind of moments, and they're very satisfying when you complete them. This is one of my favorite puzzle games on the Switch. And finally, we make it to a game that I think needs way more people appreciating it. We have Glyph, which is matching its previous low for only $1.99. This is basically if you took the morph ball in Metroid games and you allowed it to turn into sort of like a little robotic bug and then put them in some platforming levels. But if you love rolling ball games and some really crazy platforming action, you would absolutely love Glyph. It has all kinds of moments where you really have to sort of gauge your momentum and you can just pull off these insane jumps. It's just super satisfying. I love Glyph. All right, all you tricksters, I hope you enjoyed this roundup of deals. Go ahead and today and let me know down in the comments below what games you're playing lately on the Switch. I'd love to talk to you about them. And until next time, I hope you have great gaming. Bye-bye.